Morty D. Scars. Here, once again. Now. Have you all heard the word tragedy, or someone say, this was a tragic event? Well. There is no such thing as tragic. No. See, look. A tragic event is either an event or a series of events that leads to an unforeseen or an unfortunate outcome. No. I know. You're probably thinking, I love that word, tragic. I don't. It's the most useless word in our language. Could you see? Look. Here's some examples of what people say are tragic events or tragedy in the world around us that really aren't all that tragic once you understand them. Okay, here. First one. Cop wakes up in the morning, brushes his teeth, gets on his uniform, gets into his little squad car, drives down the road, stops a speeder, knocks on the window. Now, see, what he doesn't know is that this guy has a corpse in his trunk, and he's trying to get away. So, instead of giving this cop his license and registration, he gives him a fist full of gun. A face full of gun, and boom, blows his freaking brains out. Now, you see. Now, you see, the headlines would read, tragic, cop slaying. But that's not tragic, though. Because you see, the moment you don that uniform, and the moment you walk outside and decide to preserve the peace, you're taking on the risk, the inevitable outcome. Possibly, at the end of the day, is death. That's not tragic. It is a foreseeable outcome by the end of it that you could, as a cop, die in the line of duty. It's predictable and it's foreseeable and it's not tragic. Alright? Now. Scenario number 2. Okay. Blind man. He's got his stick and he's walking. Unfortunately, he forgets or doesn't realize he's walking on a highway on-ramp. And he's just walking. He hears the cars blaring their horns, but doesn't register. He walks out. Just a little slower. Walks onto the highway and gets hit by a truck. Now. Again. Reporters will say, tragic death on the highway. Blind man gets hit by truck. Now. Again. Not tragic. Now, see, unfortunately, our blind man couldn't foresee the dangers about walking onto the highway. But, think of all the people who drove by him and did nothing. They should have foreseen this man's untimely demise before it happened. But you see, again, nobody cares. We'd rather just watch the train wreck happen and not think, could there have been something I could have done? Or we see a guy hang himself from a tree, and we say, oh, there was nothing I could have done, even though the warning signs were all over the place. Nobody does anything to help out anybody else. We just sit around and go, oh, how tragic, how unfortunate. Now. Third scenario, and of course, the last one. A family goes to the mall, bringing their little child with them. Now, they're in the department store. Mommy and Daddy are too busy paying attention to the sale prices and the annoying store clerks to realize that a clown is offering their little son some candy. Then, all of a sudden, they lose track. They can't see where little Timmy has gone. Then, 6 days later, I dump the corpse in an alleyway. And then, obviously, people find it. And then again, all across newspapers, television shows are going on and on about how tragic. How could this have possibly have happened? We couldn't have seen the outcome of this. But then again, I ask myself this, or you should ask yourself this more importantly. Why weren't they paying attention to what little Billy was doing? And why did they not tell him not to take candy from strangers? Especially strangers that look like me. You see, if they just had taken the time and effort to have done a better job being parents, little Billy or little Timmy, whoever he was, it doesn't matter, would instead of being 6 feet under, he'd be in the park playing hopscotch or whatever little people do these days. But again, that's just a problem. Nobody's interested in foreseeing the outcome of negligence and stupidity and their own blinders. They can't. Because again, everything they do is right. And when something unfortunate happens that they would define as tragic, it's not tragic because they don't bother to see the warning signs. They don't look around and see the dangers around them. They just walk with these little blinders on. And then when something happens, when something really bad happens, they say it's tragic. They blame some kind of god for their miserable little lives. But meanwhile, all they have to do, and all you have to do, to avoid tragedy and these sorts of tragic events in your lives, use your head for something other than growing your hair on, and learn from these events, learn from these misfortunate, lovely and beautiful deaths and fire and occurrences, and begin to you know what? Forget it. You people are useless. You'll never understand the world as I do. You want to get in here? You wouldn't like it. So anyways, this has been your old pal, Morty D. Scars, and I hope you've learned a little something about tragedy. So, okay. Now. I want you all to do a little thing for me. Just a little. Could you all have a very good day? That would be nice.